it's a balancing act between the performer's energy level and the audience's, willingness to listen and participate, and it's always a challenge, and one that keeps me alive and keeps me going and keeps me, enthusiastic about what I do, and the crowd seems to appreciate that enthusiasm and that energy that I bring, and they most often return it.
Of course, you've
Some
been.
new ones from the New England area, and we started rolling tape with really no particular direction or theme or anything else, just some accumulated songs, and it started to fall together, and it took about a year, given everyone's spare time and schedules and stuff, and we turned out a really friendly, sort of comfortable, gentle sounding album. I didn't want this album to be, this is my first album that I did in the studio for 14 years, so I wanted it to be somewhat gentle. I didn't want it to hit
Right.
people over the heads with it.
Right.
I'll do that in the next one. But
Yeah.
so I get some negative repercussions from speaking my views on stage, and I listen to them because some of them are valid and some of them are worth listening to, and I also try to show people where I'm at after all these years of sort of living on the edge of the the establishment.
Do you want to try singing a song today for us? I know we were sort of talking about that during the break, and
I really gave my voice a pretty good romp last night, and I have to do it again tonight. So I better, at this time of day, resort to recorded music.
take it
That's
easy.
okay.
I can understand that too, and we do have the CD here as well,
Yeah.
so as we can play a track off that. Now, when you do a show and you're mixing sort of some of the more familiar material with some of the new stuff, do you know what's the reaction to the new songs, and do you have to introduce them in a certain way or tell a story in order to get people engaged, or do you think people sort of react because they're looking for something new and looking for a story maybe they haven't heard before?
Well, this record has only been out for about a year, and I'm still experimenting with that. Whether just going right into the song is better, or
Right.
giving it a little bit of a lead up, a little bit of a backstory. I'm still experimenting with that, but the bottom line is that people are loving this album. I'm really happy to say they're taking it home and finding it to be a pretty faithful representation of what they've heard at the show. Because that's the only way we really have of distributing music anymore, is at the show.
And you tend to play solo shows, or do you ever play with a band?
Out east, I've got a band. If we can drive to it, I'll bring a couple players, 3 or 4 different players that I have in my stable bunch of tunes.
Yeah.
And this is one that Henry Gross brought out of his saddlebag, and we sang it. And when you record a song, you never dream that it'll actually gain relevance in a 22-year span, but this song actually has, and it really goes out to all the people in the world. It's not just a North American phenomenon, unemployment, it's all over the world. And it really goes out to those people who are trying to bring home enough food and money and supplies for their families. And this one's called Everybody Works in China.